remember we have like completed almost 18 to 19 questions, right? Almost. So if I see, let me just quickly check. So here AZ204 preparation. So you can see that we have completed almost 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 hours of training we have completed. And today we'll be picking up new topics. So what I've done is, you can see here, I have taken up these questions, whatever we have discussed. Also, I have pointed out the videos out here. So if you see DevOps with automation, so what is the question? What is the answer? Question number 2, question number 3, and so on, right? So please go ahead and download these notes. Also watch the videos. It is very important to watch the videos and see the demonstrations as well, right? Today I'm trying to complete 3 questions out here, and let us see what those questions are. We can start with this one: auto scaling of app services in Azure, right? Auto scaling. So let us get started with this question. And okay, so the question is as follows. Let me see if I can zoom this. And yeah, so question number 17 we are starting, and as usual, we will do the demonstration. So it is not just about questions and answering them, but we will also do the demonstrations as well, right? So here is a question: auto scaling of app services. Very quickly, why is my, okay, so okay, there it is. So here it is: auto scaling of app services. Let us see what the question is. You are developing a web app. That means we are developing some kind of ASP.NET application that uses tier D1 app service plan. So if you remember, when we talk about Azure, when you say you want to host an web application, there are various tiers, like D1, S1, right? So fine, there is some kind of a tier out there, and on that, we are hosting our web app, and we see that there are spikes in traffics. So there are spikes in traffic, which has caused the page load, which increases in page load time, right? So there are spikes in traffics, right? You need to ensure that the web application automatically scales when CPU load is above 85% and minimize the cost. Which 4 actions will you perform down below? So very simple. What it says is that we have a web application out there which is hosted on D1 app service plan, right? And there are spikes of traffics which happens, and we want that as soon as it is above, this is above, right? Not about, it is when it is above 85%, we want to spawn a new VM. We want to auto scale our app service, right? So what do we have here now? First thing, very quickly, so let me go to my portal out here. So very quickly, so if you see here, let me go and see the app service. Let us go ahead and create the app service. There are so many things which are created out here. I'm not sure. Okay, so let me create the app service, and let us see that do we have any kind of thing out there, which helps us to do auto scaling, right? So very quickly, I'll go and I'll create an app service. Create resource 1 group. Let me create just a resource 1 group. Please note that people who are new to Azure, remember that this AZ204 is kind of a very advanced course, right? So people who are new to Azure, please go and watch the Learn Azure step by step, because I know that in this class, always we get people who are like first time they come into Azure, and then I'm talking about auto scaling. I'm talking about something big out there, right? So I would suggest first go and watch the Azure step by step videos, watch the AZ900 videos of exams, and then you can also see the AZ204, right? So even if you watch like 3-4 videos out there of step by step, I think you should be able to make out what I'm doing out here, right? So very quickly, I'll go here. I'll select Windows for now. So Windows, and not an app service plan. I'm sorry. I have to create an app service, right? I'm so sorry. See, remember, app service plan is different, right? They have to change this name. Microsoft needs to change this name, because like I'm an old person, I always click on this first. At least that app service plan should come down, right? But fine, I'll just say app service out here, and Let me go here and just create a resource. We have to create a web app service, right? And over here, I'll just say Questpond website or Questpond app. Runtime stack, our favorite .NET 3.0 core. Remember, you can always select the other ones as well. And always remember that if you are learning, if you're doing something right, always select the free plan. So when you are, especially people who are learning in Azure, I would always say them that please go and select the free 60 minutes per day of compute, which will bring down your cost, right? But when you talk about this question out here, where he's saying that we want to automatically scale, then you can't use the free plan, right? So we need to be somewhere in production out here. So I'm going to go and select on production. Let me see if my voice is audible. Not audible. Oh, when did that happen? Okay. Is my voice audible? I'm sorry. Yeah, audible, right? So I heard that not audible. Okay. Okay, thank you. So I can see that somebody got selected in Deloitte. Congrats a lot. Thanks for the private message. Okay, so here you can see this is auto scale. So guys, you can see here there is something called as an auto scale out here. So it auto scales up to 20 instances and so on. Let me select. So he said which plan, which was the plan? D1 app service plan. Fine, D1 app service. So remember, this is P1. Where is D1? This is the D series. Let me select. D series are very costly. Huh? I don't want to select the. Let me select this one. Remember, it is per month, but I think we should be good, right? So I'm going to go and say apply out here. Right. So that's the plan I have selected out there. And let me create a new plan here. Let me check something. Because that question out there, I just created test 1, 2, 3. I wanted to go ahead and define I think I'm not finding that plan. Well, okay. So let me review and create it. So that's fine. Why did I select P1? Let me select, sorry guys, let us go as per the question. Let me not jumble and fumble out here. Let me select this D1. I don't see D1, so I selected, it's D1. Yeah, DV2, fine. DV2 is also fine, right? Okay. So now, one is that you can see there is already an auto scaling. So when we actually went to select over there and we said, there was already an auto scaling, right? But look at this question out here. This question says, what are the actions you will take? Because he wants here that he wants to create some kind of a rule. See over there when we selected the plan, he said, I will auto scale your VM to 20 size or something, right? But here, this is not the question. The question says that it should automatically scale up, when it is 85%. So that means we need to go and create some kind of a rule, right? So I'm going to go and create this plan out here, and let us see that where the auto scaling feature is, and then we will go and answer that question. So there it is. You can see it is getting created out here. And so let's give it 2 minutes out there. Remember, the question is, there are spikes in the web application load. So when the spike goes above 85% of the CPU load, we want to go ahead and spawn a new VM, or else we want to go and spawn a new app service instance. This is not a VM, a new app service instance, right? That's the question. So first thing, if you see here, he has said, configure the web app to a premium app service plan. I think we can do with a standard one. So these are the options. Huh? So yes, configure the web app for standard one. You don't need to create a premium app. You can do with a standard app. So that is the first option. So he says that select these options, right? Second, he says enable an auto scaling. So the question here is that what are the steps you will follow, right? So first thing, I created a web app and I did not select premium or anything. I just selected a standard one, right? I did not select a premium one. I selected standard one because even in standard, there was, if you look at the standard also, there was auto scaling by default, right? But now the thing comes is that the question is that, about number of about 85% how to do it, right? So we have here scale out. So you can see here my Questpanda app is created, and you can see we have something called as a scale out here. So I can go here and I can add a rule, or I can add, you know, some kind of a rule, you can say. So you can see I'm adding a custom rule out here, and in this rule I can say now add a rule. So what can be the rule? The rule is that on an average, if the CPU percentage goes greater than, right, some value, right? So let's say greater than 80% must be, right? So let's say 80% out here. If it goes like 80%, then you can see here it is greater than 80%. Then go ahead and increase the instance by one count. So you can see I added a rule. So I went first. I went ahead. I selected a plan which had auto scaling, right? Second, now I have gone ahead. I have added a scale condition out here, and then now what will happen is when the CPU percentage goes about 80%, it will increase the count by one, right? So let's now answer this question out here. First is configure the web app. So this is right? So let's go ahead and let us try to answer this question. Where is my, the solution explorer is coming in between, right? So let me go and let's see what the answer is. So first thing what I will do is, definitely you don't have to configure premium for it. This will do. So selection first. Second, enable auto scaling on the web app. So this I actually did not do it really. Means I don't think so that I did auto scaling. But when I selected the when I selected my service, I ensured that there was auto scaling on it, right? So must be I can say that yes, you know, have auto scaling out here. Add a scale rule. Yes, I did that. And you put on scale condition. Yes, I did this as well, right? But I did not do this. I did not switch to an Azure app service consumption plan, right? So I feel the answer is 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So that's the answer. Configure the web app. It does not matter. It is premium or standard. Just don't be on the free one. Enable auto scaling. Add a scale rule, a rule, and then add a scale condition greater than 80%, and it should be good, right? Right. So any questions here on this question, how to answer it? I've put down the answers down, and also I've given the Microsoft link down below of auto scaling, right? Auto scaling, yes. What is add rule plus one? In additional to the app service like load. The question what Prabha is asking out here is, same for scale down. Yes, same for scale down. You can add a rule for scale down also. Prabha, I did not get your question that what exactly you mean plus one. You can add multiple rules. You can add multiple rules if you want. So if you're asking what is plus one out there. Enable auto scaling money, we did not do anything like that. So you know what money, but you know, I think, you know, some of the Azure questions goes in the, you know, in the old Azure as well. So if you look at the Azure is changing every 2 months, 3 months. So a lot of people are saying that enable auto scaling was there first. So I'm not really sure, but I did not do any kind of enable auto scaling, right? So guys, please check that fact that do we need to do enable auto scaling, right? We just configured, it was inbuilt. Yes, I just selected that the instance is by default configured, right? Yes, rules to increase plus one. Yes, yeah. So we just need standard app service, Viraj. We don't have to do, we don't have to buy the premium one. Auto scaling is there even in standard. It is not there in free. Rule to increase plus one. So you are asking about the rule out here, Prabha. I'm not sure the question. So yes, this increase count means what I'm saying is when my CPU percent out here is greater than 82%, you can see here, when the CPU, I've taken the metrics as CPU percentage, right? So when this is above 82% or 80%, I'm to be precise, that's what the question is. So when it is greater than 80%, then you increase the instance count by one. That's what it is. So that one is from there. No, load balancer is different, guys. Load balancer and this is scaling up. I think we need to understand, guys. Just 2 minutes, huh? There is a confusion out here. Load balancer means what? at the back end, you already have 2, 3 computers running or 2, 3 servers running. And your load balancer decides, so very quickly, no, load balancer is different and auto scaling is different. So remember, in load balancer, what happens? You have a load balancer here. A lot of end users are hitting to the load balancer. Now at the back end, you can have server 1, you can have server 2. These are all running. But here we are talking about spawning a new web application. So here there is a small VM, or I'll say small your web application running, and at the time it goes 82%, Azure will go and he will say, okay, my 82% has shooted. Now he goes and he starts a new VM out here. This is different than what I'm discussing out there, right? Okay, so I'll come back to questions again. Let us take more questions out here. I can understand that how interesting it is to see these things, right? Let us go with the next question, right? So this is one question we have here. We can have one lecture specifically on auto scaling, guys, don't worry, right? I will take this Azure CDN question later on. Let me take this Azure CDN question later on. Today, let me take up something more interesting, which is the Azure Key Vault I can take, or Azure Front Door Service. That's a very interesting service. Azure Front Door Service, right? Azure Front Door Service. So here is a question, right? First thing, let me explain you what exactly is Azure Front Door Service. Front Door Service, if you go and if you look on the web, Front Door Service, right? We can go and we can see the images out here. And that's what the Front Door Service is exactly. So if you see here, this Front Door Service, oh, I can take up the Microsoft one as well. This is so bad. Let me draw it. Let me draw it myself. I shouldn't be lazy about doing it. So this Front Door Service is an awesome service which helps user to connect to the nearest geography for a service, right? So think about it. You have a web application one here, which is hosted in US Central. You have a web application 2 here, which is hosted in South India. Now, even if you put a load balancer ahead, right? Load balancer does not know. So let us say I am here, who is from India. Now the nearest server to me, frankly, so I should not be here. I should be here, right? So the nearest server to me is this server, which is in South India out here, and I should be hitting him, right? And not him. Now you can always put a load balancer, but the load balancer does not decide on the geography, the geography length, or it does not know anything about it, right? And that's what this Azure Front Door Service is. The Azure Front Door Service, what it does is when the end user goes and hits the Front Door Service and it says, okay, from where are you? You are from India. I will redirect you here. And let us say if this website goes down, then he will hit you here, right? So Azure Front Door Service, sits on the top of the complete, this big Azure intranet, the huge Azure intranet. And it says that depending on where the user sits, he actually goes and brings that service, services from that service, right? So let us go ahead and do a demonstration of this Azure Front Door Service. And then I will go ahead and I will talk about the question, right? So the question is the secondary part. You can see that's the question. We will see what the answer is. But for now, let us do a demo. And the demo is as follows. What I will do is I will create an app service. I will create a web application in US Central. So this web app I will host in US Central in Azure. How do you host in US Central? You will select the Azure service or the service region. You will select US Central. I will create one more web app application, which I will host in South India. So remember, in South India, we have the data centers. So I will put one of them out there. Then I will go and I will create an Azure Front Door Service, right? And I will add both of these as the backend services to it. And I'm sitting in India at this moment in Mumbai. So for everyone's knowledge, I am in Mumbai. So that definitely for me, for the nearest server is South India. So I should be hitting this website and not this website, right? So let us go ahead and do this demo. very easy one. So first thing, let me go and create two web applications out here. So let me go and delete this resource. This was, I'll go and delete this resource code. Remember guys, every time you do Azure, always try to ensure that you delete it, right? So I've deleted that resource out here, or else you'll be getting billed unnecessarily. So let's say, okay, let us start app service. Let's create one, no hosting, nothing. We'll not do any kind of hosting, right? I deleted that rest one, because I've taken a higher end kind of what do you call a plan out there, and I don't want to get billed, right? So I'll create this one as a demo of what, like demo of front door service, FDS. And so this, let's say this is website one. So we'll say Questpond US. So this is Questpond US. Stack does not matter because we are not going to host anything. We will be selecting in the region central US. You can see here, I'm selecting central US. It does not matter now you are on a free plan or what, right? So I'm going to go and take up the free plan. So let me take up the free plan out here. Can't I change it? Free. Let me add a free plan out there so that change the size, because we are just testing. So we can take this 60 minutes per day kind of free plan out here. I'll apply it, right? This is getting created in central US, right? Now quickly, let me go and create one more website out here. App service again. And this I will create in South India, right? So Questpond, India, right? And remember guys, this is how you should actually try to demonstrate concepts. You should try to understand it. If you just read and just give exams, or even if you just read documentation, it won't really help. You should be doing these kind of small demos and then trying to see that how this whole actual Azure works, right? So here it is. But here I will not select this. I will select South India has, yeah, that's South India. Remember, in India we have, if I'm not wrong, we have 3 regions. I'm sorry if it's not on my head, but one is in South India, in Mumbai, and I think in Pune, right? Just go and see the Azure regions. You will find the data centers in India of Azure, right? So I'll select South India out here. I'm sure they will not give. Oh, they have given. I thought that for India, they will not give the free plan. So I have it. So I'll just select the free plan for India, right? So there it is. So review and create. Now this is the website which is created in India, right? So assume that you have created 2 backup websites at the backend, and you just want that whichever is the nearest location your user should hit, right? So now let us go ahead and create a front door service. So here it is. I'm creating a front door service out there, and I will add this front door service. Let us create in the same demo FDS. Now remember, here region does not matter. This region here says the front door service is created in which region, right? So let's keep the region as it is, right? And we will now need to go and give the configuration. So you can see now there are 3 configurations out here. Let me make you understand it. So there are 3 configurations. First is your front door service URL domain. So whatever is a URL. So this is what you need to configure, your front end host. Backend pool. So we have one for India, the app service, another for US. This is what we add here. Now we can create a rule out here saying that, for example, if someone is coming to the backend, then this should not be happening. If someone is coming from this IP address, then still he should go to the US server, right? And that's where this rule is. So in the rule, I will not really add anything. I will just take the default values and I will move it, right? But the rule is nothing but if you want between the front end and the backend pools, if you want to go and define any kind of rule, you can do it, right? So I'm going to go straightforward there, and I will add front door. So this is the front door. So I'll say Questpond front door, Questpond FD. So Questpond FD.azurefd.net. If you want, you can have a WAF, a web application firewall, if you wish, just in case, to provide central protection. So as soon as it hits the, what do you call, to your this one, but for now I'm not really interested in this. I'm not interested in the session affinity as well. Session affinity means, because now this front door service is acting like a load balancer as well, you can think about, right? Not exactly a load balancer, but yes. So now you will say that if a user goes to US first time, right? Let us say he opens the browser, he goes to US, then he should always go to US for that session, right? So if you want that to be enabled, you can enable it, but I'll just disable this. I will just disable this. I really want the front door service to just go ahead and take the nearest location and do it, right? I've disabled this because it will unnecessarily charge me. So there it is. So you can see now on the front end, Questpond fd.azure fd.net has been created. Now let me go to the backend pool out here and let me add, one is the backend pool. So I will add a backend pool out here. So what is the type of backend pool? Is it like a storage? Is it like, remember, front door service is not only for web application. It is for SQL Server. It can be for any service, right? But at this moment, definitely my interest is app service. And the first one is Questpond India. That's what it is. I'll just add it. Second one, the second backend is again an app service, which is Questpond US. Where is Questpond US? Oh. Hang on, what did I add? I added Questpond India app service. Why isn't it showing Questpond US? Let me go, guys. Let me quickly check it. I'm not sure. Something or other thing has to happen, right? Oh, only Questpond India has been created. What happened to my Questpond US? Didn't I create it? Let me see if somebody's. Oh, I know, but I should still see, even if I added the same name, I should still see here that Questpond India again, right? I added Questpond US. I think so. So this is South India. Did I add a plan? I must have added a plan. Oh, damn it. No, that's a plan. Okay. I did I add? Hmm. Let me create it. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know why. Sha. I have no idea why that did not. Let me see if anybody's pointing me something. Yeah, we just reviewed it. Yes, yes, I think so. It's my mistake. Questpond US. Let's do it. I'm so sorry. So I shouldn't be selecting 3.1. Do we have an HTML? No. Central US. Remember, that is India. And I will not think about the free servers for now. I'll just create it. I think I reviewed and created. I said review and create, but I did not create it. Let me do it. It takes a minute. But I hope that everybody's getting what I'm doing. Actually, I'm trying to create two app services at the back end, and I'm trying to put a uh, front door service, and I want him to see that he goes to South India. Also, like, one more thing now, definitely one of the things, how do I know that? Because both of the app services, when they get created, both of them will have the same website, the same web application, right? The same UI. So let me go ahead and change the page of app service. So what I'll do is I'll go to the app services. Let me go to Questpond India, and let me go ahead here and change the HTML page. If you want to quickly go and change the HTML page in a dirty way, there is something here called as an app service editor. You can just go ahead to the app service editor, and I can edit it. Where is the edit? Preview. So let me go ahead and edit and just put India out there. Why I can't? Yeah, I want an in-memory browsing. Why isn't it? Okay. Oh, learn more. You know what I thought? He's saying learn more, go here. I don't want to learn, right? So actually, that's an app service editor. Ah, yes. They should really change this. They should write here, not learn more. Shake. Oh, I think this learn more. I saw the go is down here. Okay, fine. So here it is, the app service editor. And what I will do is I will just go and change this to India. So that's the website. And where do I change? Your app service is up and running in India. Hey, developers, app developers, this is running from South India. You can see here at the right hand side, it is saved. So that means that if I visit QuestPond India now, if I go and if I visit QuestPond India, I should see welcome app developers South India, right? So you can see this is running in from South India. So good, our HTML page is changed, very nice. And and also QuestPond US is created. So if you go to QuestPond US, you don't see any one of these, right? You know, it's just a simple website out there, just up and running, but no South India, right? Now let's go back here. I think we are all set. So I'm going to go and add a backend pool. So let's say backend pool, and I will add a backend pool. I will say this is an app service. The first one is QuestPond India. I just add it. The second one is QuestPond. Yeah, this added. I added it twice. How do I remove it? Oh, I think I need to refresh this whole thing. Guys, I'm going back again. I don't know. Is it taking it from the cache? I can see now QuestPond US is created. So I should not have a problem. Let's see. Configuration. QuestPond front door. I'll just keep this all as it is for now so that we can quickly do the demo. Backend pool of servers. This is stunning. QuestPond US, where are you? I'll copy this. I don't know. I don't know why it is. This is so sad. Somebody help me. Check this. Oh, they are both in the same subscription. I am on the same subscription. But it is possible that this front door and the front door service, I put it in US. The front door service, I put it in US. So what like? That is something for me, which is a news. I'm not really sure. So let me check again. That's QuestPond US. That is South India. This is QuestPond. Why is this not visible to me? You know, these new things, I'm not sure. Sometimes they are there. So is there something out here? Let me see if somebody's helping me out. Yeah, so what? Like one is premium and another one is free. Does that matter? I am not sure, but I hope everyone. I hope that I know that this demo, it is difficult now. Let me not just go into it. But the point was, okay. Let me do this. Let me create this as premium. Okay. Let's pay some money. But see, he's showing me the free one. Shouldn't he show me the premium one, right? Shouldn't he show me the premium one? What I read. let let me just see once. So the free ones work for Azure front door service, but the premium ones don't work. Is it a refresh? App service. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me make it a free one. I don't think so. That should be the case. Okay, so let me not do this demo, but I hope everybody has got it right, because let me try to do this. I don't know if this is really, like, if I make it free, it will be working. Let me try this. Enter the name of your app. Let me do it. Let me make it free. I have no idea. It's possible it is not picking up. Pay as you go, same subscription. I don't have any other subscription. Questpond US 1. I'll select everything same now. .NET 3.1, Central US. Let me select that free one. I don't see that. That would be stupid. I don't think that's a problem. Or let me try to select some another thing. Let's select Central US. Let's select East US. Let me do that. I will still take the free one, but I've just selected East US, just in case. Must be it is something. If not, then we'll go with the next question, guys. Let's not waste time. It's pretty much simple. Just add a front door service, add the backend service. But if this does not work, let us not keep doing this. It just wastes a lot of time. We'll move ahead with the next question. We'll see the question of the Azure front door service, and then we will move ahead with some other questions as well, right? Okay, it's coming up. That Questpond US has gone. Now this is Questpond US 2, which we are coming up, right? So guys, any questions at least over here? Any questions of what I was doing? No, so for Viraj, for front door service, I don't think it matters like free or anything. For example, you saw that I was able to add India, and India was on the free server. Free means it is not free. Huh? 60 minutes is only free. 60 minutes of CPU time is free per day. Yeah, and there can be Amit, there can be another problem of auto sync. No, CDN. See, we don't have to use CDN here. You don't have to use CDN. You can have CDN also as a backend. I just made it free, everyone free out there. South India, East US. Okay, let us see now. Let me not do too much. If this does not work, guys, we are going to go ahead with the question and other demos. Let us not try to waste too much time out here, because I hope everybody has understood it. It's quite easy. Respond. Yeah. Pool 1, 2, 3. Backend host type app service. Whoa. It works for free, huh? So I'm going to go and take Questpond India as one of the server. I really don't know what happened out there. Must be it is. So that is one backend server I've added. Horrible. Saturday, right? So, so you can see now, we have two servers at the backend. Questpond India, Questpond US 1. Add it. I will not add any kind of rule out here. So you can see pool 1, 2, 3 added out there. I will say this is no rule. I'll just all patterns, everything is allowed. But you can go and you can say that only HTTPS is allowed. Only this is allowed. So you can go and define some rules between this. I'll say review and create it. So I have created a front door service, and I am sitting now in Mumbai, and I will hit the front door service, and the front door service should actually go and point me towards the South Indian server, right? To the South India server, right? Yeah. So there it is. You can see front door service is getting created. Okay. Guys, any questions, please put down your questions, because these services sometimes takes time. With which URL you will hit the web app? So I will hit the web app, by the front end, the front door service URL. So Viraj, I will hit it by the front door service URL. Which rules we can add in FD? So you can add rules like, for example, only HTTPS is allowed. You just saw some basic rules he has added, or only, slash this should be there, or only it should contain, if it contains this, so there are some rules out there, very basic rules, but they are, don't take those rules as they are not big firewall rules out there. So you can see here, this is my front door service out here. Now the front door service is, you can see the URL out here, questpond fd.azurefd.net, right? So I'm going to go and hit out here. Now remember that in order that this this front door service starts, right, it takes some time to sync up and so on. But let me see. So I'm going to go and hit the correspond FD out here. You can see the request URI is invalid, but I think this should not be for this 404 comes, for some time. Once the whole sync up happens, you will see that he will hit the server, which is so okay, there it is. Why is it hit not correspond US? I'm sorry. Correspond this one. So you can see here, okay, there it is. Why did it take me to India? Take me to US. You can see, oh, there it is. Now it went to South India. It first went to US, for some reason. Let me go back there. It is showing me South India out here, but something is bad. Now it is showing South India. Let me open in cognito mode. You see that? That is US. So that is South India. That is right. I have no idea what it is doing. It should always show me South India. Must be those are free servers at the back end. Do they get overloaded or something? I'm not sure, but it should show me South India first. That definitely that is there. Must be if I put a proper server at the back end, that should work. I've used free servers at the back end at this moment. Yes. Right. So, okay. So this was a small demonstration out here. Must be we can probably more hunt into what is a front door service. Let us guys, now let us go into that question what we have here. So now you will understand the question. So why I first explain you front door services, because when you don't understand front door service, then how you can understand the question, right? So what happened? So full screen snip. Right. So let us read the question. Guys, please put down your questions. I'll come back after this question out here. You are using your Azure front door service. You are expecting inbound files to be compressed by using broadly compression. So don't get too much on this word. This broadly compression is nothing but, I think we have one compression, we have is the gzip, GNU zip. And another one, this one is something with the name starting with L. So it is a zip compression out there. So you discover that the inbound XML files are not compressed. So as soon as somebody hits your Azure front door service, you see that the files are not compressed. The files are 9 megabytes in size. You need to determine the root cause for this issue. So in other words, you want to just say that if the files are not compressed, then what will happen, right? So first thing here, this Azure front door service is a lot of things. It is not just, I just talked about the main thing. For example, that one is, it picks up the nearest geographical boundary. It has security as well. It has caching as well, right? But it also has, these kind of things like compression. It can automatically compress and send it at the back end. So very quickly, I'll just go through this document out here. Azure front door service also has a lot of other things, like it has caching, it has this and this, right? So if you go and if you read this small document here out here, you can see this is the Azure front door service. So if you want for the large files to be delivered, it automatically has file compression, right? And in this file compression, he actually supports at least two kind of compression encoding. One is Brotli and one is ZZip, right? So frankly, the if you look at the options out here, what he has given in the answer, so what should we do, right? That's the answer. The compression type is already supported. We really don't have to do anything. So the compression type here for the front door service is already there. So we can just select this, right? So that's the answer for that. So by default, it is there. We don't have to worry about it. How can we use FD in Azure resources? So Sandeep, if you're talking about generic Azure resources, right? Then the generic Azure resources, yeah. So Nirav, you can hit if you want. So the generic Azure resources, you see if on the front door service does not have any idea. If you remember, you can hit any kind of resources out here very quickly. Remember in front door service, front door designer, remember, I can hit here when I said add at the back end, I can add any kind of service. Remember storage, API, traffic manager. So you can see some of, so I just selected app service, but you can, if you want, if you think that you want to use some another kind of service like Azure storage or blob storage, then use storage. And then he will say, okay, now he will go and pull out the Azure storage is what you have, right? So you can use other kinds of service as well. Okay. So that's nice. Let's see. Okay. Guys, we have only 10 minutes. Let me not take this question out here. This is also an interesting question. Must be you can ponder over this question because I wanted to actually show you how the CDN expiry is there. So here is a question which is on Azure CDN. I think Azure CDN we have already talked about previously. We have shown some demos of Azure CDN. So this question is around that. So people who are new to Azure CDN, just quickly for you guys, Azure CDN, as the name says, content delivery network. So very quickly, we'll not do the demo of Azure CDN. We'll only see the options of how to configure. So in Azure CDN, let's say you host a web application. Now you say that you have lots of customers who are from India. So you want to host this, let's say this web application is hosted in US. So you want to go and say that, okay, take this web application and host it somewhere near India as well. So that means you will create a content delivery network here. Must be, let us say some people are in other countries like let's say Japan, so you'll say, okay, CDN out here. So what will happen now when you host your web application out here, automatically it will propagate to these CDNs. So if an Indian customer is logging in, he will actually go to this CDN and not to the US. If a US customer is coming up, he'll actually go to US customer, to the US data center. And if a Japanese user is coming in, he will go to the CDN of whatever is the Japan's data center. So basically CDN is nothing but it creates a copy, right? And delivers the content very near to your network, right? Now let's look at this question out here and let's understand what this question says. Must be, we'll do the demo in the next class, but let us try to understand it. Azure CDN expiry. Okay, that's the name I've given. So you have hosted an app service ASP.NET Core web app, which delivers videos. And the video is delivered by www.xyz.com/content mp4 quality type 1. So that means that, you have an URL and then that URL has a query string like x is equal to 1 or something, the one which is set quality equal to 1. All media content must expire after 1 hour of cache rule. So you want to have a cache rule because there is already a cache in CDN, right? You want to expire the cache after 1 hour. So customer videos will vary on the quality to be delivered, and it has to be to the closest nearer regional point of presence, right? So now very quickly here in Azure CDN, remember, in Azure CDN out here, the point what he is making is that once the Azure CDN is cached, so let us say that when something is out here and it is cached out here, after 1 hour, this should expire and it should expire per URL. They are giving out an URL out there, something like, video quality 1 or something. So what the question is a bit complicated. It says that for every URL, I want to set this, or to this specific URL, I want to set on 1 hour of cache expiry, and after that the cache should be taken back, from wherever is the main web application, right? So remember that Azure CDN, when you create a CDN out there, right, you can go and you can define these rules. So we'll do in the next class, but I'll just answer this question. So for this question, you can go to your Azure CDN and you can define these rules by saying here override cache. Override cache. Let me quickly, guys, we'll do this demo in the next class, because I want some 5 minutes also for questions. So here, when you go and you configure the Azure CDN cache, you will say override it definitely for 1 hour, and don't bypass the query strings or so on. Cache for every unique URL, because in the question it is clearly mentioned that for every URL. So for this URL only 1 hour. For the other URLs, just keep using your whatever is a CDN default cache, right? So override 1 hour and cache for every unique URL. That's the answer. We'll see this demo in the next class. Let's not do it today because I need to create a CDN and then I need to add the website. So guys, any questions on these 3 questions we discussed? So today we discussed 3 questions. I'm just trying to expedite now. Because we want to, I just want to announce, we want to start Amazon cloud training as well, and I'll be the trainer to deliver it, and we are going to plan it every Saturday. So we just want to make sure that we complete like 25 questions. So that's why today I just wrapped up with 20 questions, right? So I wrapped up with 3 questions. So first is we talked about auto scaling, right? So we can go and we can add a scale rule. Second, we talked about the front door service. We saw a demo of front door service. We said that front door service, depending on the geographical location, it decides, to give you the nearest service, what is out there. Remember, there is one question I can see here, privately sent. So doesn't CDN do that? No, CDN only hosts your application to the nearest location. It does not decide where to go. If somebody gives you the main URL, the CDN will go to the nearest location that is there. But I'm saying that, let's say that you have 2-3 CDNs. Now, who is the nearest one? But CDN access does not decide that you have to go there only. It is not like that. That you have to have Azure front door service on the top of CDN to have a more better picture, right? And second, remember, in Azure front door service, you also have WAF, web application security, caching, compression, and some other things, which I have shown. So it has definitely more added advantage. You discover, so over here, by default, we said that the compression type of broadly is supported. Remember, there are 2 kinds of compression. One is something starts with the name L. I'm sorry, I forgot the name. And one is ZZip. Both of them are supported. So if you see here, this was an old way of doing compression broadly. Compression. What is that? LZ77. LZ77. If you remember, there was LZ zip, right? So all those normal things are supported out here. And then last we saw was this question about caching. You can do caching in Azure. You can do it per URL. You want to do it per URL, you can do it per URL. For example, here, the customer videos are downloaded from the following URL. You can cache every unique URL with the time and so on, right? So guys, let us take some questions out here. Any queries, any questions? CDN is for static content as well as Pawan for dynamic content as well. CDN is for static content as well as for dynamic content. There is a good question from Biraj here. You need to find out the root cause why compression is not working. Can you explain with an answer? See, remember that that question, which is there of the root cause is to confuse you, frankly. If there is a first thing, the root cause, first thing, if you look at the question, that's a good question from Viraj, that how do you find out the root cause? See, when he has said that this is the network CDN standard for web endpoint, right? That means that he's saying that I'm using CDN. He's saying that I'm using CDN. So definitely the root cause is that your compression is not enabled, or what exactly, right? So here this root cause, I think, they are given, just to confuse you, because all the other options don't, the other options, don't, if you look at the other options out here, bypass cache. I don't know why would I bypass cache, right? Set if missing. This also looks to be very weird. And this 1 hour is just 1 hour, right? So, and the other ones, ignore and query string. The question has a query string. See, remember, without even knowing uh, Azure, you can still answer this question, but I don't want to do that. If you logically think, all the answers out there, of AZ204, if you logically think, you can get the answer, right? So I think, that's to confuse you. I don't see that there is no point of that. Yes, if you hit a specific, if you want something to be the nearest specific region, Viraj, you will use the Azure front door service. And Azure front door service is also, it has a lot of added feature also, as I've said. You can put security of, you can think about, it's a global firewall. Think about that. If you look at firewalls, you can put it inside your network. You can put some firewalls even outside if you want. But here we are talking about, before even the traffic comes to you, you want to still put some rules out there, right? So it's more of a global the firewall is not a part of FD. The firewall is added as a WAF. That web application security is added as a service. Then web application security is separate. The firewall is separate, but it has been also included into FD, so that FD can use the advantage of it. But the main goal of front door service is the same. So let us quickly go and see, because normally what Azure front door general availability, right? So no, let's look at, okay. A secure entry point for fast delivery of your global application. So you can see it has a WAF, a web application protection, global HTTP load balancing. So you go here, that is there, right? So you can see that central point for traffic orchestration. So that's what this thing is. I never saw the pricing part. Just 2 minutes. What about the pricing? So costly. Okay. They charge you per inbound and outbound traffic. These kind of questions they should give in the exam actually. They don't give this, they give these questions. They actually market front door service, right? That's the question they should give, that front door service charges depend on what, like inbound or outbound, right? Really, with all respect, at the end of the day, this complete exam is also kind of on marketing, please understand. So don't use it left and right in your project. It looks very attractive, right? See the pricing part if possible. Okay. So thank you very much. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, you can put down on questpond@questpond.com. Thank you.